Expectations you must let go of in your 20s. I have a list here just to make sure I don't get lost. The first one is you're meant to be extraordinary. I think we need to realize that being extraordinary is actually rare, it's strange. I'm not telling you like don't believe you're going to be extraordinary, but it's more like realize that you don't need to pressure yourself to be that. Like, if you become extraordinary in whatever you want to develop yourself in or for, perfect. But I feel like sometimes we don't get the things we really want to just because of how much we pressure ourselves. There is this movement of, I have to be the best, I have to be extraordinary, I have to make this YouTube channel successful. And although it's great, I think it's important to realize, okay, our YouTube channel, I want it to go well, but what if you actually did things without that thought of, oh, I have to be the best, I have to be extraordinary? I think that if we took away that pressure, things will actually work out for our benefit. And I generally feel we will get so much farther than when we pressure ourselves, because we pressure ourselves so much that we end up just giving up and not doing anything. And this has happened to me a million times, and actually it's happened to you. So it's super important being aware, realizing, okay, you know, I want to do this. Do I love it, or am I just doing it for the result? And I think this is the big problem, that sometimes we do things just because of the outcome that we want, but we don't really enjoy them. So if you don't enjoy it, you won't do it. Like, imagine, for example, you have a YouTube channel and you want it to be successful. Imagine it goes unnoticed, like no one ever sees it. Would you still do it? Do you actually enjoy what you're doing? So I think that's what you have to think, because when you actually create things that you like, things that you love, people sense that, and then you get an audience because you can transmit the love you have for what you're doing. Otherwise, when you're just doing it for the outcome, you're not going to do it because you're not enjoying it. You're just doing it for the outcome, and people can sense that you're not passionate about it. So it's super important that whatever you do, imagine no one ever recognized it. Would you still do it? Are you still enjoying it? That will actually probably allow you to relax a bit and actually to get the goals that you want. And I'm just thinking about, for example, Van Gogh, right? During his lifetime, he wasn't really recognized. He sold a few paintings, but he wasn't really recognized. Are you realizing that he still painted? He still did all that because he genuinely loved what he did. He loved what he was doing. He wasn't just doing it for the outcome. I mean, he definitely wasn't, because he didn't even know he was good. But he still did it. And through the years, as sad as it might be, people have recognized him because he did it, because he liked it. Not for the outcome, not for someone to like it, but for himself to like it. And that's so important, at least for me. 2. You're at the beginning of your life, if you're in your 20s. I don't like to think about death. Death really freaks me out. I was going to say for some reason, but it makes sense. So this is supposed to give you awareness, self-awareness, but don't get too caught up in it because then you'll drown. But like, be aware that you might die in time. Like, not just because you're young, it means you're going to live until you're 90 or 80. I mean, hopefully, but it's not really guaranteed. So I think you really need to have in mind that you or many of your friends might not make it for a certain age, and I don't mean in a negative way, but just so that you realize that everything you do actually matters. I don't really know if that makes sense, but I think that gives you power to think clearer and to realize the actions you're taking and whether they are the right ones or not, and if they like connect with who you are or they don't. And yeah, I really think it helps you. I think we're on number 3. Number 3. You can literally be whatever you want. And this goes a bit to the first one we said, right? That we said, like, not everyone is going to be, everyone is going to be extraordinary, blah, 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 blah. And it sounds really negative, but this third one gives you more as well, I think, realization, because if, for example, I wanted to be a mathematician, I am super bad at maths, but like, I'm not bad that like, she can improve. No, I'm bad. Like, I went to classes all my life, all the years of school, high school, I went to classes, I got the minimum mark to pass, and I think they did it, the teachers, because they just felt so sorry for me, because they could generally see that I was trying my best. So my point with this is, when you want to, like, I wouldn't be able to be a mathematician to begin with, so sometimes some things are out of our reach, and normally things that we're bad at, normally we don't like, so that's good. But what I mean is, like, if you really want something in life, imagine you want to be, I don't know, go to space, right, to be an astronaut, you need to realize that everything is going to take a massive effort. With technologies, we have really developed laziness. Now we probably spend about 15 hours out of 24 in the phone, and everything is just so fast. You want to know some information, in a second you have it. And I feel like that's very dangerous, because when we come to real life and learning skills that are actually useful, we don't really feel the energy to learn those things, because everything is just so easily given to us that we're just lazy. And I feel like it's barely impossible not being lazy. You need to have such a self and will to improve and be made out of something else, to not be carried away by that laziness, so my point is, if you want to do something, be good at something in life, you need to really be conscious and talk to yourself and say, look, this is going to be very hard. Because before, when we didn't have technologies, people actually did real things. People learned to play the guitar, people learn languages. My granddad, he had no education, right? He had the worst education you can imagine. Yet he learned and he taught himself French, perfect. He taught himself English, perfect. He actually had a really good pronunciation. He taught himself Arabic, and he spoke perfect those three languages and Spanish. And he taught himself those things at home with books. Who will do that now? Not even with videos on the internet, we're capable of doing such thing. People before actually did things with their life, and it's generally sad. But also, I feel like it was much easier, because we didn't have such technologies. We have such distractions that are literally a drag, a technological drag, that it's certainly hard and addictive. So my point is, at least, even if you're going to be addicted to your phone, be conscious that if you really want to be good at something in real life, it's not going to be easy, and you're going to have to dedicate time, because people now, it's like they try for a few days to learn French, for example, 3 days, oh no, I'm just so bad at it, okay, and they quit. Same with the gym, same with everything, they just quit because they're lazy. So at least, if you're not going to do it, know that it's because you're lazy, not because it's actually that hard. Okay, so I think we're at number 4. I think I'm going to say 5 today of expectations and things you might let go in your 20s. Number 4, and also something we should let go of, and it is that our thoughts will change themselves when our circumstances change. It's not true. It's like when, for example, someone doesn't love themselves and they get surgery. The root of the problem is that you don't love yourself, or you don't like your nose, or you don't like something about you. So a surgery is a short-term solution to the problem, but the problem, because it's the lack of self-love, internal as well, is still going to be there. And it's same with everything, with money. When you have a bad relationship with money, you just see it as something negative, and then maybe you have money, your mind is not going to change, because you still think in a poor way, in a way that, oh, money's horrible, I'm just going to run out. So even if you've got loads of it suddenly for any reason, it's going to be like taking away fast, because you don't have a good mindset. So what I mean is, like, the ideal thing is to develop and manipulate for your own benefit your own mind, with money, with every single thing that you can think of, and think how you want to be, how you want to think, how you want to see money, like in a positive way, in a positive manner. And then when you get it in the future, because you've established a different mindset, which is like the base, then you will see it differently. But it will never be the other way around. You won't get money and have negative views and thoughts about it and then suddenly think great things. The most important thing is your mind first. You fix your mind, you change your mind, and then you'll see things differently. It's like if you're in a bad situation, it's not going to change. Just, I'm going to have different thoughts. But you're still in the same, for a short time period, relief, it will work. But if you don't change the root of the problem, which is where you are in life, the circumstance, the place, your thoughts will not change, at least for a very long time. It won't be very sustainable if you're looking for a really short, long-term solution. And the last one I want to do, which is number 4, is that you can control what people think of you. You need to let go of this. You will never be able to control what people think of you, and if you try to do so, you won't be able to keep everyone happy, because everyone has different thoughts, everyone has different beliefs. Everyone is just a different human being, you know. It's like I say, in Korea, the beauty standards is a very pale skin, and having like very, like thick hair and black hair, but being very super pale is such a beauty standard in there. Go to America or Spain, you need to be tanned. Like, it's not nice if you're not tanned. You're not seen as gorgeous if you're not tanned, right? So it's two opposite, complete different realities within the same world, meaning you're never going to be able to please everyone. And if you try to, well, you'll end up miserable yourself, because you're trying to please everyone, which is still not working for you, because you'll please one person but the other one won't be able to be pleased, and then you're just like hanging, like, okay, well, you end up even forgetting you actually have an opinion. So it's absolutely impossible. Imagine you, and this is something I've found myself so much in, imagine you meet a group of friends or a group of people in a birthday, and everyone is super talkative, they're super extrovert, outgoing, and you're like quiet, right? This is my case. I don't talk. And I start to think, they are thinking I am a weirdo. They're totally thinking I'm a weirdo because I'm not speaking. And I try, and this happened to me once again so many times, I try to force myself to talk because I want to feel like they don't think I'm weird, and I want to get along with them. I don't do this anymore, by the way, but I did it years ago. I tried. It never really worked because I wasn't able to really talk, but if I had spoken and been like them, they would have thought, oh my gosh, she's so cool, she's outgoing. But then, if in that same group there is someone really quiet, also not talking, I wouldn't have placed that person. That person would have probably thought, oh no, I thought she was like me. I thought she was quiet. I thought we were going to be friends, but she's just like them. She's just like the rest of them. So you will never please everyone. And if you try to, you're just literally going to be a puppet. A puppet. And to be fair, for me, being a puppet sounds just so boring, because you're just driving yourself crazy on purpose. I do always try to be kind, and whether I like someone or not, I always try to be respectful. Obviously that's the bare minimum, like be respectful, but it doesn't mean you have to try to fit. It doesn't mean that if you're in a group of people that speak a lot, you have to speak a lot. If you don't want to speak a word, just don't, because there's no point. So many times the fact that I'm quiet has made me make friends with someone that I actually loved, because they were just like me and we understood each other very well. And if I hadn't been myself, I would have ended up in a group that I dislike. So on long term, being yourself is always going to benefit you, because even if it sometimes may feel weird, you'll end up in the right place. Okay, this really felt like I was even nervous. This kind of felt like it was a presentation, which is very weird, but I really hope that you got good knowledge out of what I spoke. I think I made sense, to be fair. Thank you for your time and for watching, and I like coffee. Well, not much, but I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.